Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of the Storytime Society. I'm your host Jamie and I'm so happy you're here. I'm so glad you're alive. Thanks for tuning in to another episode. The theme of this episode is updates only. So let's get into it. It's a mini episode though, so yeah, let's get into it. The title of the first story is My 15-year-old idiot kid got his girlfriend pregnant on purpose. I, 30 female, have a child who is 15 male. We'll call him Ollie, plus other children aged 2, 6, 9, and 11. As you can tell by my own age, I was a teen parent. I was lucky and we married at 18, still married, healthy relationship, worked our way out of a very dire situation, graduated, started a trade, etc., and we are comfortable, stable in all ways. This information is relevant. Ollie has been friends with this girl, we'll call her Bree, since he was 7 years old. Their family used to live in the same city as us and went to the same school, same friendship group. We know her parents and are long-distance friends ourselves, not close friends, but say hello when the kids are on video chat, had drinks together before. Bree's family moved to a very small town 3 states away due to rental affordability. No secret. We all have talked about the rising costs of everyday life. The cost of living in this city has risen, forcing many locals out. They moved because of that and for the better job opportunities about 18 months ago. Since then, Ollie has been begging for us to follow, giving us a sales pitch on cheaper housing, better paying jobs, none of which fit either of our professions, and the whole works. We've said no because, well, no, but even if we wanted to, our other children are in school, sports, and have friends here. Selling and buying another house, finding work outside of our skill set, or having to learn new skills, any normal adult would understand this, but he does not. Well, fast forward to Christmas, Bree's family comes back to our city for a holiday, and the kids met up multiple times with each other. It was my understanding that they were always with the other kids, but obviously not, since Bree is pregnant, and I'm certain it was on purpose. He has access to condoms. I don't care for opinions on that. My access was restricted, and I had him. He had sex ed from me, my husband, school. He knows damn well how babies are made and how not to have one. Ollie now wants me to move to be with her and the baby. It's confirmed. I've talked to her parents. And I said no. I don't feel I need a reason, but he asked. You're 15. We don't have any proof it's your child yet. I'm not moving us away from our lives, and you are not going alone until you're 18. We will do a DNA test, and then we will look at parenting plans and topped it off with a too bad, too sad. You made your bed, now you have to sleep in it. He took that back to Bree, and now all communication between me and her parents has been cut. I'm a terrible person. My comments about the DNA test are disgusting, and it's fueling my son's hate for me. He says I'm keeping him from the love of his life and future baby, using my own successful relationship as proof that it will work out. I actually don't even know if I'm right or not. I'm just really upset and feel like my life I worked really hard for has been destroyed. Edited for update. To answer some questions, she is due September around the 22nd. So no, there's no option for abortion. I don't think that or adoption ever was. Ollie admitted it was on purpose last night. Apparently it was Bree's idea first as a joke that turned into a plan together. Bree's parents will only pass messages through my son, and I have heard this for myself. I stood outside the door and listened to them tell him, tell your mother, insert info below, because I know I will just go off on her about that bullshit still. They're talking shit about me with my kid. They are appalled I would think that way of Bree when I have known her for more than half of her life and do not wish to talk to me. I will not allow him to move out there alone. There are some past issues, such as Bree breaking up with him twice in the last 18 months because she found someone that she liked more in her new town around August and October of last year. Same boy. And when it ended, she came back to Ollie. Bree is a nice girl, but her behavior is toxic and has been since she was a child. Her mother and stepfather are nice, but the relationship is unstable. The house is chaos. 9 children combined, blended family, and 2 to 3 teens with serious mental health struggles. He would be leaving stability for chaos and no structure. I want a DNA test, and I will not budge on that. I am close to cutting his contact totally at this point because they are only empowering him and reinforcing his behavior towards me and his father. His father is a man of few words, which is unhelpful, so he's backed everything I have said and only really chosen to say, "You have the intelligence of a pear." If you want extra content weekly, head over to patreon.com/storytimesociety and become a member on there for extra content. Love you. That's crazy. I don't know 100% like I know that the right decision is obviously not to have him go live with these people. That I can agree about. I can't really say what the right response to him doing that is. Like, I don't know what you're supposed to say to a kid. I'm 27 years old, don't have a child of my own, would have no clue what to say to a kid. Like, I probably would do the same. I'd probably be like, well, you made your bed, so you're going to lie in it, and we're not moving there. And yeah, I would also be asking for a DNA test. I mean, even if you do know the person, okay, well, you can never be too safe. I don't know. How am I supposed to trust, whatever, who cares? And if I were her parents, I would be totally fine with that. I'd be like, yeah, makes sense. I get it. Update 2. Things have gone south even further. At this point, husband and I have been blocked on all social media and numbers blocked, but the communication with Ollie has continued. Ollie gave us Bree's parents' email address to send an email to, but before using that, I asked him to video chat Bree with me there, and then I could ask Bree to please get her parents so I can talk to them about this and tell her that if they were going to continue to refuse, then I would be blocking all contact to Ollie and communication until this is resolved. I told Ollie this before the call. At first, he flipped out, but it was this or I cut communication completely. I do think he understood that it's not okay that her parents are speaking to me through minors, and he said himself he would like us to talk to each other. Bree joined the call and hung up when she saw that I too was there. Ollie called back a few times and she didn't answer. She asked via text why I wanted to talk to her, and Ollie told her that I wanted to speak to her mother, and if we didn't resolve the communication issue, then all contact would be ended until her parents made contact with us and we make a plan for the next few months, including DNA, and then birth arrangements. Said that if the baby is his, we will travel there for the birth and the first few weeks after. He told her that I personally think it probably is his baby, but I want to be sure and make sure everything is done right from the start. Well, Bree blocked him with a reply, and he is totally heartbroken, not eating, sitting in his room all day and night, not mad at me, surprisingly, very, very sorry for him and to us, sad about it all, and I think regretful. He even asked me if there was a way to undo it for himself. I haven't talked about signing over his rights, a male abortion, his father called it, because I think he's just upset right now. A mutual friend of Bree and Ollie's here in our hometown showed him a few posts that she has made in the last 24 hours. Things like, "It's you and me against the world, baby girl," and memes about deadbeat dads. She also announced the pregnancy, which she hadn't done yet, and posted some single mother facts in quotes. Ollie's friends knew about the situation, and a few were under the impression he had dumped her and the baby, going by the posts, but when he explained that what had happened, they all rallied for him in the comments. I said not to, and now she's blocked them, and we can't see what she's posted. This is just a nightmare. I have had a plan personally, not set, but something I wanted to talk to her parents about, but I don't even want to waste my time at this point. Ollie gave us Bree's parents' email address to send an email to with said plan. Basically, Bree does a DNA blood test. We pay the full $1,500 for it. If it is his baby, we can book flights and plan to be there for the first month. I'll stay too with Ollie. Maybe even the whole family. And then we can also work on a parenting plan and getting into mediation for a judge to sign off on it. Ollie's father and I split for the first 7 months of his life, so we've done this before and we know the process. But at this point, I think I will just leave it to settle before sending an email. I'm really glad that this is the girl that has to handle it, because at least she knows what it's like to be a 15-year-old having a baby and having to deal with that whole situation, because God, I would not know what to do at all. Oh my gosh. I don't know. I feel like she's lying and she's not actually pregnant. I don't know. But obviously I don't know if the parents would be lying about that too. That would be so weird of the parents lying about that, but maybe she lied to them about it and they believe her. It's very interesting to me though. We have update 3, 4, and 5. So we're in for a ride, I think. I don't know. 4 days later from update 2 in the original post. Editor's note. Edited out the bottom 2/3 of the update post as it is a rehash of the original post. Someone suggested I repost the update because they didn't see it until now, so I am. Ollie's friend was able to see her Instagram through an old account. Different email. I don't use Instagram enough to know what that means, but it meant they weren't blocked when they reactivated. They found the pregnancy announcement post, and if you scrolled across, it showed a digital copy of the scan Bree sent us as a 16-week scan. Apparently, the first scan she had at the OB. That is dated 0404 and clearly says GA 19 plus 3 weeks, making an August due date, I believe, or very early September. This would not line up with the due date given to us, but does line up with when her parents told me she was pregnant mid-April. They told us we've had the pregnancy confirmed and sent a photo of the printed picture, which the date isn't on there. I actually think it may have been cut off the top. I haven't told Ollie this yet because I want to be sure, but I'm very concerned about his mental health at the moment, and I'm taking that into consideration. Unless she gave the wrong period dates and the baby measured only 16 weeks, then it's not possible for it to be our son's. Also, added information, her due date from what we know, if September 22nd, she was here from December 20th to January 7th and saw Ollie December 21st and 22nd and January 4th and 5th, never overnight. I asked Ollie when did this happen, and he said January 4th was the only time, which makes more sense as they were in a public gathering otherwise. They were at a mutual friend's birthday that night, but never stayed overnight. I have had 5 kids, and I know the dates are too close to figure it out that way. Ollie also said that the joke Bree made was just to see if it happens, the pregnancy, because then it's obviously meant to be, and he would be able to move. To me, it sounds like she had a plan a lot longer, but I may be biased here. Okay. We're getting a little suspicious here. This is getting a little suspicious. Suspicious. Okay. Update 4. This is the same update post, but 12 days later. I spoke to Bree's biological father, who lives in this town, who had no idea about any of this. Before you come for me, there was no known DV or anything. I felt I had run out of options at this point, and I just wanted to contact them. Bree's mother then made contact, agreed to the blood test if we paid for it. Ollie and Bree spoke again, and Bree asked to come here for a holiday and have an ultrasound with him to prove dates in person. I agreed to this, but I may not be thinking straight with the stress we have all been under. She says she's 26 weeks, sent him a photo of her belly, which has grown, and told him that there's no other option but him to be the father, that the ultrasound had to be her last period date, and she didn't remember, so she went by her app, and it was the period before. That's why the dates are out of the scan. I asked if she had a physical booklet of pregnancy notes or something because I know from experience that they have all the confirmed information on them. But she said everything is digital with her doctor, and I didn't want to push because it's not my medical info. I'm wondering if I do just fly her out here on my terms, her mother agreed, and do the blood and ultrasound here and just put an end to it all. Update 5. 10 days later. We all have come to a travel arrangement. We paid for Bree to fly out, and her father was paying for the ticket home. Bree was supposed to fly to us this morning and stay for 6 weeks total, flying back sometime in August. Her father is in charge of that flight. She was staying with us over these next few weeks while we do our annual July 4th family vacation for a week and then a couple weeks back here at home for the ultrasound/blood test. This was decided together with both families because Bree and Ollie would like to have some kind of positive experience and memories during the pregnancy, and obviously, if baby wasn't his, Bree would be taken to her father's and we would be finished with this all. But she never turned up for her flight. She texted the night before that the doctor did not recommend. She should not travel. She is at risk for preterm labor due to her age, and her severe morning sickness makes her only be able to tolerate pineapple juice. So she's needing to be hospitalized and maybe even deliver early. This is on top of a group photo that included Bree, obviously pregnant, in a tight t-shirt, hugging the boy she was dating in her new town, his hand on her belly. It was quickly removed from her story when Ollie asked. I think it was intentional to make him jealous. I'm done. I do not believe her or her parents. I have contacted a lawyer and a therapist. I will not be updating again until I know the outcome of the DNA test that I assume will not be done until after the baby is born, since I was told today I cannot force her to have while pregnant. If this baby is Ollie's and my grandchild, I am willing to move Bree here and have her live with us. It has no chance and will continue to ruin my son's life from afar. Okay. I'm kind of annoyed. We didn't figure out if it's actually his or not, because that's what I was really thinking. Like, I was really thinking that we were going to figure that out. One of the relevant comments says it's very possible she may go into labor early is due to her real due date. And OOP said, this is what I thought too. If the other due date is the real due date, then she would be something like 32 weeks, which would mean she would be 38 weeks when she planned to fly back. Therefore, an OB may say they don't recommend it. This is crazy. This is a mess. This is chaos. Chaotic. Okay. Pumpkin Spice Nation said, I agree with Ollie's dad. However, I think Ollie and Bree combined have the intelligence of one pair. I mean, they are 15 years old. Yikes. But I don't know. No, I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to say. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to do. I would be so stressed if I was his mom. I wouldn't know what to do. Putting a picture of a boy and her, like, on her story and him, like, holding her belly is crazy. That's crazy work of her to do that. All right. The title of the next story is, my coworker, 45 male, often interjects his opinion on my 27 female soon-to-be wedding. My fiance and I have been together for 10 years and decided to tie the knot this upcoming summer. I have this coworker who doesn't listen at all. It's his way or not at all. My coworker, Jack, has assigned himself to be our florist after overhearing my conversation to my friend. He mentioned that he used to be a florist before working at our store. I never asked Jack to be our florist. I've politely told him no. We already have our flowers arranged. He asked where we're getting married. I told him the courthouse. He gasped and acted all dramatic about it and muttering that it wasn't romantic enough. We haven't talked since then. Now, since it's Valentine's Day, Jack brings up the flower thing again since he was working the floral section in our grocery store. I told him again that we already had our flowers. It was in one ear and out the other. He kept talking about how he was so excited for my big day and the flowers were going to be so pretty, etc. I've walked away and pretty much haven't said anything about my wedding to anyone because this guy just doesn't get it. I'm fed up and I have been avoiding Jack because that's all he wants to talk about. I've told him no so many times, but what else can I do? That's fucking crazy. Okay. Some of the relevant comments, just make sure he doesn't have the full information, like the date, time, place, and that no one who does will give him the information. The less he knows, the less damage he can do. No more discussion about any details with him. OOP said he knows nothing else other than the colors I was going to choose before we fully decided on a courthouse wedding. Yeah, because I'm so confused. I'd be like, okay, well, if you're going to give it to me for free, sure. And I'll cancel my other plans, but only if it's free. Because what the hell? All right, this is the update, and it's 13 days later. Hello, thank you all for the comments. I know it's been almost 2 weeks since my last post. Some of y'all offered some great advice. Again, thank you. So here's what happened since my last post. I went back to work the next day, and Jack was off. It was blissful. I didn't see him the rest of the week because he went back to Montana to see some family. I only knew his whereabouts because another coworker felt the need to inform me. Anywho, Jack gets back that weekend, and on Monday, he runs into me as we clock in. Immediately, he begins to describe Montana. His sister was getting married in a small wedding, the colors, the flowers. I expressed my congratulations to his sister and started heading to my department. We don't see each other until lunch break. I'm sitting down enjoying my leftovers when Jack comes over and starts in on what he has in mind for my wedding, even so far as mentioning price brackets. I put up my hand and told him to stop. I tell him that my fiance and I are doing a courthouse wedding. It may not be romantic in his eyes, but it's what we want to do and what we're looking forward to doing. I also told him that he needs to drop the subject as we're not changing our minds. He starts apologizing and saying that he didn't realize that I was serious about the courthouse. I just shook my head and told Jack again to stop talking about it before I walked away from him. Yesterday, I heard from another coworker that Jack was upset and didn't mean to cross the lines with me. At this point, I don't care. I said my piece, and I'm super happy that I stood my ground. I will keep doing this too because it feels good to not be a doormat. I should have done this sooner. Thank you again. The way that this guy would probably be like buying the flowers and everything, because I'm such a people pleaser and I'm so scared to hurt people's feelings, that I'd be like, okay. And I'd just be like, okay, sounds good. Sounds good. And then I'd probably just like call out of work for a couple days and like hope that he would forget. I don't know. I'd be so like, I don't know what I would do. I'd just be like, all right, yeah, that's great. That sounds great. Thank you. Especially when people are so like assertive about it and they just keep bringing it up and keep bringing it up, even if I'm like, I nicely say, no, it's okay, we already have someone. It's so awkward for me. Like, I'm the worst at handling those type of situations. So honestly, kudos to you. Someone said, this is fantastic. I'm just sitting on the couch and clicked on this post thinking, ooh, juicy, and then realized halfway through I knew the backstory because I read your original post. I half feel like I'm eavesdropping on a gossip fest and half like I just caught the finale of a show I was a bit invested in. Glad to see a happy ending. Well done for standing up for yourself. You'll find that with practice and doing it, less people will make it necessary. You'll develop an aura of, I won't tolerate bullshit. Congratulations for taking the first step. All the best. And OOP said, I thought I was going to just tell him to stop, but the words just rushed out of me in the most wonderful way. I still feel like I'm on top of the world. I need to get a little bit of that medicine going in me because I don't got that. I don't even got a sliver of that damn thing. I have a problem with that, honestly. Sometimes, like, something like that will happen, and then I'll think about it later, and I'll be like, wow, I should have said this, and this. But, like, at the time, it's just, like, I'm frozen. I'm like, I don't know what to say. I'm so awkward. Okay, that's fine. Thank you so much. It's literally the worst. It's my worst quality, truly. But that's the last story. So let me know what you thought about those stories. Obviously, the first one was like extremely juicy and so many updates and information. So excited to hear what you thought about this episode. But thanks so much for tuning in, and I appreciate you. If you haven't already, please press the subscribe button, or if you're on another platform, the follow button. Leave me a review. I would really appreciate it. As always, please leave a comment. I love to hear your thoughts, comments, questions, concerns. And yeah, I love you. I'll talk to you in the next episode. Bye. My merch is out. Yeah, but this is it. And this comes in pink, black, and white. If you want to get a little cute piece of merch, go grab one. Link is in the description to purchase. Love you guys. Thanks for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.